Please be seated.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello.
This is a case of Hyman versus Brown.
Thank you, Jerome. Good day, everyone. Ms. Hyman, you're here today to finally prove to the defendant, Mr. Brown, and his family that he is the biological father of your 4-year-old son, Landon.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Brown, you are adamant that you are not Landon's father and say you won't do a thing for the child since he's not yours.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Hyman.
Yes, Your Honor.
What has Mr. Brown done for your son?
He has done nothing as far as no diapers, no wipes, no clothes, no visit, no type of affection.
Your Honor, I to be honest with you, I shouldn't have to do anything if I'm asking for a DNA test.
Your Honor, he has not asked for a DNA test. As far as anything, he would say, I'm not taking care of child unless I get a DNA test. And he really does not tell me. He tells family members. He tells my cousins, my mom, his mom.
So he has never directly asked you for a DNA test? You disagree, Mr. Brown? You say you have?
No.
Yes, I have. Why should I do anything until I need proof? I need proof, Your Honor.
And where do your doubts stem from?
Because of past experiences that I have had, you know, of me going through a situation where I asked for a DNA test and I found out the child wasn't mine.
Okay, so you've had a past experience. I'm still trying to figure out what exactly is your doubt based on?
Because from
None.
Yes.
None.
If they
None.
come to me saying that he's
like
another man's baby,
None.
and then 2 months later,
None.
then it's mine, what would you do?
So
Your Honor,
people are
none.
coming to you and saying it's another man's baby.
Yes.
You're hearing these rumors.
Yes.
When you were in a relationship with her, did you catch her cheating?
No.
Were you suspicious?
No. I
Your
was
Honor,
staying with him, Your
come on.
Honor. He
Your
drove,
Honor.
Your Honor,
like I said,
he drove me around.
From the past experience, when I had asked for a DNA test.
She's not talking about the past experience. She's talking about the current experience with our son.
Listen, if you went through one situation,
It doesn't matter about that situation. She's talking about the current situation
if you went through one
with
situation,
Landon.
Your Honor, and you find out the child is not yours, and then you going through another, you will not go through that twice.
Okay, if you would go through it twice.
My point is, in addition to that, we've established that you've had a previous situation.
And I wore
What
condom.
I'm asking you.
You a whole lie. We
to
never
that,
wore. You ain't used no condom with me, but one time, boy,
Honor.
why is you sitting right here lying
Your
like that?
Honor,
I wish
condom.
you would stop lying.
You're saying you never slept with her unprotected.
Lie.
Is that your submission to this court?
The whole lie. And if I'm lying, I'm flying. If I'm lying, I'm flying. Pigs gonna fly through this window right now. You are lying.
Come on now.
Come on now.
All right.
You're sounding like a liar.
Hold on.
I've been asking for a DNA test for 4
You
years.
a lie.
Why I haven't
No,
got
you're
one?
not. No, you haven't.
Why I haven't got
No,
one?
you
I have
haven't.
came to you plenty
No,
of
you
times and said.
and what have I told you?
came to you
If
plenty
you
of
want
times,
a
Ms.
DNA
Hyman,
test,
and
you
asked
don't
for a
have to
DNA
come to me
test.
and get no DNA test. Go put
Let's
yourself on
talk
child
one
support.
at a time. Let's talk one at a time. I want you to explain to this court when, how did you ask Ms. Hyman for a DNA test?
Asked for a DNA test when it was brought to my attention.
Lie.
If I already went down there to take a DNA test, you really don't need me to go down there to go get a DNA test. All you got to do is just go down there and take the child down there to do a DNA test. Correct?
Well, you would also have to submit DNA.
So I've already submitted my DNA, so why it's so hard to go do a DNA test?
So have you submitted your DNA?
I've been submitting my DNA.
Your Honor, he never submitted DNA towards my case. It's towards our son Landon. He never went down there. Just like you went down there with your other child and put yourself on child support. You can go down there with this child and put yourself on child support with this one. I don't have to be with you to go put yourself on child support. You can go do it yourself. All they're gonna do is, when he go down there and submit his swab, they're gonna send me a letter in the mail telling me to bring me and my son down there.
Well, you all are saying the same thing, but I just not understand why there was never a DNA test.
Your Honor, that's the same
Your
thing
Honor,
I've been asking. If I did a DNA test.
Listen. I want to talk about this child.
Correct.
Please. I want to talk about this child.
And I told her I wasn't doing nothing until I get a DNA test.
And that's fine.
That's all I said.
Right, but you did not go down to the court again as it relates to Landon.
I've been down there.
You have?
No, you did not.
I've been down there.
Explain to me what happened when you went back to court.
When I went down there, I needed her to go down there.
No, you don't.
I needed her to go down there.
No, you did not.
Yes, I did.
No, you did not.
Yes, I did.
No, you did not.
Multiple
Your Honor.
times.
Okay, the bottom line is then.
No, you did not.
Okay, hold on, Ms. Hyman. If he was confused and he thought he needed you to go down there.
He never came to me and said, Your Honor, he never came to me and said, well, both of us go down there together to get this.
Never said that.
He never said that.
Right, I'd like to hear from your witness, ma'am. Please step up to the podium. State your name.
Samantha Tart.
Ms. Tart, you are Mr. Brown's mother. And what would you like to add to this situation? Do you believe little Landon, 4-year-old Landon, is your son's child?
I have my doubts.
You do. And why do you doubt?
Because when I was at work, someone came to me and told me I need to get a blood test. Because his particular relative was saying that it was his child. So that's where the doubt came in, Your Honor.
So you were at work and someone came up to you and said, I think you should encourage your son to get a blood test.
Yes, sir.
Because
yes, Your Honor.
it's okay. I have a lot of masculine energy, don't I? He encouraged you to have your son get a DNA test.
Yes, Your Honor.
Because he heard or knew firsthand.
He knew firsthand.
He didn't know
that
firsthand.
someone else was claiming this child as their own.
Yes, Your Honor.
Your Honor, my whole thing, the young man that she's claiming that knows, that said they knows firsthand, I didn't start messing with this man till the end of February, beginning of March. This man was not nowhere near me and him.
So why, you know, the rumor was he was the father before anybody even told me I was the father?
You was a whole lie. I told you from the day I got pregnant,
That's
boy.
the story,
You come on, man.
That's the story,
I'm gonna Mr. Brown, I'm gonna let you believe what you want to believe. But when it comes out today that Landon is 99.99% that he's yours, I want you to step up.
If you want more episodes of Paternity Court, make sure to subscribe and click on the notification bell. All right, so quick question. When was Landon born?
October the 19th.
When were you all last involved
The week of
sexually?
Christmas.
Christmas week.
Mm-hmm.
At what point did you all stop being intimate and you had relations with someone else?
Me and this young man, we really never stopped being intimate. We still dip and dab every now and then. Your Honor, we still dip and dab.
Hold on, wait a minute. Listen.
We still dip and dab.
No.
We still dip and dab. I have text messages to prove where even on my birthday, where you call, for instance, on my birthday, he inboxed me and said, "Oh, I will give you good birthday sex if you don't have anybody to give it to you." This is May 1st. This is May 1st. But if I'm not the woman that you want to be with, why are you steady trying to dip and dab with
No, Your Honor, listen, hold on, wait a minute.
Okay, listen. Before we get to all that, I was actually amused by the way your mother was looking at you.
Right.
When it was determined that you were still inboxing her. Were you intimate with anyone else over the course of the next several weeks?
No. I was staying with him. I did not have no intimacy with no other person. I was staying with him. I didn't start sleeping with nobody else until the end of February, beginning of March. I did not start sleeping with nobody until the end of February.
So the bottom line is you had sexual relations with him during Christmas.
Yep.
Now the baby was born in October.
During Christmas, during the year of 2010, we still dip and dab.
She was dipping and dabbing in something else too.
But hold on.
If you think I was, no, you was dipping and dabbing in this.
Hold on, Miss Hyman. When you were dipping and dabbing with him in December, were you also with somebody else? You said January, February, or February, March?
In February and March.
In February, March.
I was already pregnant then.
But you said Landon was born in October.
October.
And so if you count back all the way to December, that's almost 10 full months.
Correct.
And then the other guy was around 8+ months.
About 8 months, not really 8+ months. About 8 months. I was already pregnant then when I started dipping and dabbing with this other young man.
Doesn't add up, Your Honor.
Bottom line is, 8 months or so before the child was born, you were having sex with another person. And then 10 months before the child was born, you were having sex with Mr. Brown. You don't feel there's a chance that it could be the other man's child?
Doesn't add up, Your Honor. It doesn't add up, Your Honor.
When it comes down to the case of my son looks nothing like this other man. This other man is 5'2". My son doesn't have no facial features, no anything as this other young man. My son has the exact same birthmark on the same side as this young man. My son has the same lips, the ears, the eyes, the nose. He has my nose, the chin.
Your Honor, looks don't mean nothing. You can think about a person so much that a child can come out looking like that person.
But I'm okay. But my whole thing, Your Honor, if you can hang
I don't know that.
I'm sorry.
Your Honor,
I appreciate that faulty evidence.
Your Honor, if we was beefing with each other, how can we hang around each other for my child to look like you if we wasn't around each other? How can that happen?
So you resent the fact, Ms. Hyman, that he even questions it all?
No, I don't resent the fact. I don't resent the fact that he questions it. I mean, I can
You believe it's substantiated?
I understand why he
Okay, so you can understand why he questions it.
I can understand why he questions it, but at the same time, he shouldn't question the fact when he see my son. everything that my son has is just like this young man.
Your Honor, I've been through this once. I'm not going through it again.
I want to hear from the plaintiff's witness. Ma'am, please step up to the podium, state your name.
Demetria Coleman.
And you are Ms. Hyman's
Mother.
Ma'am, what would you like to add to this case?
First of all, I really respect Mr. Brown and his mother. We have been very close friends from the day that I met them. I love him as if he was my own child. But that being said, I love my daughter. Me and my daughter have a relationship, and I've asked her on numerous occasions, is this his child? Could it be somebody else's child? And she has told me every time, no. Yes, there has been the questions of, he wants a DNA test, And after going through this for 3 years, I was looking at TV one day and I was like, you know what? I called Ms. Tart. I said, I'm calling paternity court. I'm gonna get to the bottom of this because I feel like every child deserves both parents. And I know Mr. Brown would be a great parent. And in my heart, I believe it. In my heart, my soul, I believe that Mr. Brown is my grandson's father.
On that same token, though, with that being said, if he is turned out to be our grandson today, we have lost 4 years because we've been asking for this for 4 years. So I've asked, my husband, we've all asked for this DNA test. So, including her mother. So this is something that we've been asking, and it's like taking years from all of us away from someone that could have been our grandchild.
Because neither one of them would step up to the plate and take care of business.
What the obvious question is why has it taken so long?
Us beefing with each other, us not being on the same page. It could be some times where I might be busy and he's busy. If I'm not busy, he might be out of town.
And I was always on the road, Your Honor.
So he was always out of town.
When I asked for it, so that tells you I have asked for a DNA test.
You have not asked for a DNA test. Your mother asked, not you.
Listen, you all are never going to agree on that.
We're not.
You just aren't.
We're not.
My concern is I'm trying to think about this young, innocent little boy.
Yes.
For 4 years.
Yes.
My son is 4 years old. I couldn't imagine for 4 years a child growing up and not knowing who his father is.
I take care of my kids by myself. They live faithfully, they eat, they sleep, they got clothes on their back, a roof over their head, lights, water. I do it by myself, so it doesn't really matter.
I think it matters for Landon.
It matters for Landon, but not for me.
Yeah. So he doesn't think of Mr. Brown or...
No, when Mr. Brown comes in the house to pick up our other son, he'll dap him up, pat him on the head.
So wait, you come pick up the other son, but you don't pick up Landon?
Yes. You want me to tell you why? Because the reason why, because I haven't had a DNA test, all right? The other son, I have gotten a DNA test and found out he was mine, so I takes care of him.
All right, so for 4 years, you've been coming in and out of the house.
Yes.
You all still know each other, talk to each other, see each other regularly, but you couldn't figure out how to get a DNA test done on this child.
That's what
All
I
right,
have asked.
I can't accept that, but it's reality. Mr. Brown, I have to ask you, what are your hopes? Do you hope Landon is your son?
Yes, I really want to know, Your Honor, because like my mom said, if he is mine, we have lost 4 years. I'm not a bad man. I don't not try to just put him off like that. No, I never do that. You know, if he's mine, I take care. I handle my responsibilities as a man. That's what I do.
And I never took that from him. I never took the fact that he was a man, the fact that he take care of his responsibility. I never took that from him.
All right, so Ms. Hyman, I have to ask you this. If Mr. Brown is the father, your claims will be substantiated. If he's not, what will you do?
There's no doubt that he's not. He isn't the father. I know he is.
Do you want to watch Paternity Court on TV? Go to paternitycourt.tv to find your local listings. I'm ready for the results. Yeah. These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics and they read as follows. In the case of Hyman versus Brown, When it comes to 4-year-old Landon Hyman, it has been determined by this court, Mr. Brown, you are not the father.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
You all right, Mr. Brown?
Right. Stop crying.
Ms. Hyman,
Yes, Your Honor.
you assured this court that there were no other possibilities.
I really felt that he was his son.
Are you okay, Mom?
I am.
Were you hoping that,
I was.
Mr. Brown, you seem very disappointed.
It's just been 4 long years of just going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
I'm sorry that this result didn't turn out favorably. I can see how hurt you are. We have resources for you all. You want to talk through this, you need counseling, you want to figure out how to move forward. And this court is about helping people do that, but standing on a sturdy foundation, and the only sturdy foundation is the truth. I hope that the truth will be the start of a new opportunity to come together again. I wish you all the very best of luck.
Thank
Court
you,
is
Your Honor.
adjourned.